Explain it to me, Gwen. Why are you so obsessed with Danny Clark's case anyway? Come on, at least let me try to see if I can help. There's nothing you can do to help, Owen. You can't rewind time and prevent my daughter from getting pregnant. I made it just fine without my father's hugs and kisses. Now that I'm a grown woman, I'll be just fine without it. You can leave now. Yvette. Leave me alone, Zeke. Not till you tell me the truth. The truth about what? Why are you even here? I was actually about to call you to meet me here. I heard you're pregnant. What's it to you? Is it mine, Yvette? What can I do for you, Owen? I actually came here to update you, Mr. Torres. Update me about what? The Durvals are more of a threat than I originally thought. Essador? I sure never expected you to show up to my diner. Surprise. I don't think you're here to get what's on the menu. So what do you want? I'd like to know what you can tell me about my new little sister, Shirley. Why would you ask if you're the father? You know why. How far along are you? That's none of your business, Zeke. It is, if you're carrying my baby. What are you doing here, Ben? You know I'm getting ready to head to the studio soon. I won't be here for long. I just came to see how you are holding up, Quinlan. I'm fine. I heard you, but your body language tells me something different. What do you mean? The Durvals are a family who take their faith seriously, way too seriously. And one of those beliefs is refusing to believe that a woman has the right to choose. What's your point, Owen? They're endorsing D.A. Russo. I get that you two are campaigning against each other, but it's for district attorney, not for governor. I'm trying to explain to you that we could take advantage of the issue, Mr. Torres. Since D.A. Russo is being endorsed by the Durvals, she's allowing herself to be endorsed by people who feel like women should be convicted for having the right to choose what to do with their own bodies. Vivian lives at your family estate, remember? If you want to know more about my daughter, then ask her yourself. Except I can barely get a word in since she's been distant. Worst of all, she makes herself feel so important since she's CEO. Vivian wouldn't have been CEO if he didn't hire her at Russo Jewelers to begin with. You and I know how impressive Vivian's work ethic is, Shirley. That's why I hired her. Was she always like that growing up? You and I wore protection, remember? Except protection don't always work, Yvette. Was Black Friday one of those times? Look, we both know Black Friday was a mistake. I need to know if we made an even bigger mistake. Zeke, if you're trying to ask me if I'm gonna terminate, the answer is no. I'm keeping the baby and I'm raising the baby. All I'm trying to figure out is if I'm the one who got you pregnant. Alright, Zeke and I, we had a small disagreement before he left for school. About what? He has it in his head that I'm obsessed with Danny Clark's case. And you don't see where he's coming from, Quinlan? You've been bent on getting justice for her the moment you heard about her case. Most of all, she was a kid, Ben. Her life was brutally taken. I'm not running around in circles about this anymore. Then let's not run in circles. We both know you're personally connected to this case, and I want to know why. The real reason this time. Heidi cheated on her husband with Finnegan Burke, remember? I doubt Valley Park thinks she'd try and convict females who travel to another state to get a termination when it's too late to get one in this state. I get that the Russos and Durvals have different beliefs, but they share one thing. What is that? They both have more conservative views. I believe I can win this election by reaching moderates. Why do you even want to know Essador? Like I told you, Vivian is my younger sister and I didn't get to know her growing up. I remember what you were like when I worked for your family all those years ago. I doubt you're asking me about Vivian out of the kindness of your heart. You haven't worked for my family for over 20 years, Shirley. A lot has changed. I'm sure it has. Just like I'm sure that you're still the power-hungry business mogul I knew long ago, and I ain't gonna let you devour my baby in the process. There's nothing you have to worry about, Zeke. You're not the one who got me pregnant. You sure? I thought you'd be relieved. Most guys would just take my word for it and move on, unless you want to be a dad and explain all of that to Nichelle. That ain't what I want, Yvette. Then just accept it, Zeke. This baby has nothing to do with you. Who's the father then? I told you everything you needed to know, Ben. I don't think you have. Sounds like that's your problem. Back at the vigil, you told me how Zeke's father almost destroyed your family. What did you mean by that, Quinlan? You've got my full attention. That might actually work, Owen. It will work. But something seems odd about all of this. What do you mean? Why do you seem more angry with the Dorvals rather than with Heidi? Yvette's keeping the baby? Believe me, that wasn't the plan until Shelley Dorval got involved. I'm not angry with the Dorvals at all, Mr. Torres. Wait a minute. I remember that you didn't seem to enjoy the fact that your daughter took over Russell Jewelers on Christmas. That's right, but I also don't want to see her get hurt either. I'm praying that God can convict Vivian to hand the company over. I don't doubt that God can answer my prayer. You certainly weren't thinking much about God when you laid with my father. If you think I'm gonna allow the enemy to remind me of the sins Jesus already paid for on the cross and forgave me for, then you're sadly mistaken. Get out, Essador. Just to be clear, Max hasn't touched me since I ruined his life the last school year. I wasn't about to ruin his life again. Then who got you pregnant, Yvette? Why do you need to know? 'Cause I don't think you should deal with all this by yourself. I'm not alone, Zeke. My parents promised to support me, so the guy doesn't need to get involved. Just so you know, my dad left me when I was a kid. My mom wasn't trying to leave me, but she's in prison now 'cause she couldn't handle her emotions. When you think about that baby growing up without a dad, think of how my life turned out. Good luck, Yvette. I already explained to you that Zeke's father wasn't a good man. I get that he's a deadbeat. But what did he do to you, Quinlan? He was a con man who involved my mother into his schemes. I'm supposed to be fond of a guy like that? That's not what I said. But I want to know what he did to you personally. Something that drove you to have this much compassion for Danny Clark's situation. Is that so wrong, Ben? Of course not. Look, Quinlan, you're the woman I love because I love you. I don't want you to suffer in silence. Whatever happened, I promise to still stand by your side. Most of all, I need you to know that I'm always going to protect you. You have my full trust now. It's only fair that I have your full trust too. His name was Virgil, okay? He was a con man, a deadbeat, a selfish man who would get whatever he wanted, even if he had to go through great lengths to get it. Worst of all, he wanted me. What do you mean he wanted you, Quinlan? That monster, when I was growing up, that monster would force himself on me.